Well, technically the new moon in Aries already happened in the sky, but we are here celebrating it. We are here honoring it as a collective all together today. And with this new moon in Aries, there's just so much to get into, guys, because I kid you not, this new moon isn't just an opportunity for us to plant seeds for ourselves and grow, but I also need to mention that this new moon is also a time where we're being given kind of a second chance to start again on something and start it right, do it right. So today's new moon circle, I actually was going to be doing things a little bit differently. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out my community tab post, I actually am switching up how I'm doing these circles. So there isn't going to be any guided visualization practice as of today for this circle, but instead we are going to be diving strictly into the meaning of what this moon is all about, and also any major or important astrological aspects or transits and retrogrades, all that things of that nature, things that are going on right now. So we as a collective can continue to expand and grow and evolve and become the best versions of ourselves. And I feel like the only way we can really do that is if we know what's going on. If we know what's going on a metaphysical level, on a cosmic level, and align with that, get ourselves nice and centered with that energy. So after we dive into all of the astrological components of today's stuff, we're also then going to be moving into looking at some journaling prompts. So I did come up and do some further research on what the journaling prompts of this new moon in Aries is going to be all about to help you guys be able to align yourselves further even after this circle is complete. After that, we are then going to be doing the thing that I think we all enjoy the most, right? And it's about tarot and oracle reading for the collective to see what is going on and how we can best align with what this new moon in Aries is trying to help us align with. Like I told you guys, this new moon in Aries is about planting new seeds, but not just that, it's asking us to start over with something. I want you guys to, as cliche as this might sound, I want you guys to envision a phoenix rising from the ashes. A phoenix, when it's rising from the ashes, it fell in the ashes to start. It wasn't there to begin with. It had to get there. It had to fall. It must have failed at something or believed that it quote unquote failed at something to land in those ashes to begin. And then it gets another chance to rise. When it rises, whenever we think about a phoenix rising from the ashes, it rises out of those ashes 10,000 times stronger than where it was when it fell. I want you guys to picture that energy when it comes to this new moon in Aries, because this new moon in Aries is doing that for us. We have a chance to become the phoenix that chooses willingly, with conscious awareness of it, to step out of those ashes and become reborn, to become again new and more empowered, more healed. And the only way that we can really embody that, the only way that we can truly honor that with what this new moon is all about, is if we are brutally honest with ourselves. Because yes, this new moon in Aries is a pretty big deal. Not to mention, on March 20th, that was the start of the brand new astrological new year. So happy astrological new year. And right now, spring is here. So this is all about new beginnings and rebirth and regrowth and renewal, rejuvenation. Things are going to start blooming. Maybe you guys just started hearing more birds outside recently. All that is about an awakening. And in our inner world, we are in the process of going through an awakening. This astrological events and everything that's going on in the sky is kind of encouraging us to continue to do that even further. With that, I need to say, and I did not even know this myself, the one thing I really love about doing these circles is that it also helps keep me updated with what's going on astrologically as well. So it kind of keeps me on my toes. I didn't know, I thought that Saturn was already there, but I guess I was wrong. Apparently Saturn just entered Pisces today. Today, on this new moon in Aries, Saturn has officially entered Pisces. Do you guys know what that means? Because this is pretty cool, okay? And Saturn is actually going to be staying in Pisces, I think, until sometime in 2028, like maybe sometime till the fall of 2028. But with that, Saturn being in Pisces is giving us, oh my God, I love this for us, a huge, huge opportunity to align with the dream life we've always wanted for ourselves. Any dream, a dream that your heart has so deeply desired. Maybe you've dreamt of becoming a baker. Maybe you've dreamt of owning your own store, or creating your own website, or starting a blog, or whatever that might be, that little dream of yours. You, with Saturn and Pisces, we are all, as a collective, as humanity, are being encouraged and being given a beautiful opportunity to set actionable steps in stone in front of us to start making those dreams come true. Because we got to remember, when it comes to Pisces is all about the imagination. It's a little bit illusionary, and it can kind of get stuck in the clouds if it's not careful, if it doesn't set their dreams into something real and tangible. Because Saturn is just entered Pisces now, we are all being encouraged with whatever is up here, the things that we daydream about, the things that we reminisce about, maybe the things that we romanticize about on a day-to-day basis. It's coming back down. It's coming into the reality. And we have a chance to do what karma does best with us and make good karma for that to come into fruition. Because remember, Saturn is the planet of responsibility, and it is the planet of karma. It's the planet of cause and effect, as what I like to call it. So whatever you put into something, whatever you go do and grind on, or maybe whatever you don't put into, you're going to get out. That's exactly the outcome you're going to get for yourself. So I also like to kind of see Saturn as the tarot card Justice, the major arcana Justice, because it's kind of like the scales. You are the literal thing that's creating the change in your life. You are the literal one with the pen writing down your story right now. So if you have a dream, I'm gonna just tell you straight up, as stupid as this might sound, it is possible for that dream to come true right now. There is a different alternate reality somewhere in this world where you are living the life of your dreams. And the only reason why this reality you are not yet, I'm gonna say yet, because we never know, is because where is the tangible steps to get there? There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? And I know that sounds so cliche. Maybe some of you guys hate me for saying that, but that's just the truth. And most of the time, especially because just a couple days ago, I was watching this podcast where Mr. Beast was being interviewed. And it's so interesting to listen to podcasts where Mr. Beast is talking about his experience, his upbringing, his growth. But the one thing that literally I couldn't fully sit with well, or at least comfortably, was the whole idea of how obsessed he had to be to become as successful as he is today. The obsession, the level of obsession that you need to have for your dream, it's gonna make you look crazy if you're not there yet. But trust me when I say this, when you get to that success, when you get a hint of it and other people around you see that spark, that hint of it too, that obsession that people think is crazy, they're not going to question it anymore. They're just going to accept it because they're like, oh, maybe they were right. You need to literally be your own best friend during this time. You need to be willing to look wrong in front of a room filled with doubters. And you need to stand proud in whatever other people think you're wrong in. New Moon in Aries aligned with this Saturn in Pisces. All these energies, guys, it is so ridiculously giving us an opportunity to set those intentions now. Not to mention, just 2 weeks ago, there was a lunar eclipse, okay? There's been a lot of tower-like moments that have been happening within us as a collective to help us break and shed old skins and let go of the things that aren't serving us anymore. And this is the most potent time for fresh starts and bold actions and reclaiming personal power. It's here. This is where your new beginning, this is where your new story can be reborn. You were once a phoenix, and maybe something that you were once so passionate about, something that lit up something in you. You doubted, and it let you crash and burn. New Moon in Aries is giving you an opportunity to rise out of those ashes and come out stronger than ever. And so that is where I hope that we can all come together and make the thing that maybe we doubted at one point in our life a reality for us. If you guys would like to share, feel free to share, because I just figured out how I can finally access the chat while I'm in here. So one thing that I really want to prioritize moving forward when it comes to these live streams is community. I'm here to build a community, and I want you guys to be able to ask questions. I want you guys to be able to explore and be curious, because who am I as a facilitator for deep healing to not hold space for that, right? And so one thing I'm going to start prioritizing moving forward, starting from now, that's for me, this new moon in Aries, is setting the intention, planting the seed of community. This is what the whole reason why I started this channel, and this is what I want to keep prioritizing moving forward. So if you guys already didn't take a chance to look at the chat, the little thing I sent there, yes, I'm asking you questions, and I want you guys to not hesitate to share yours, okay? And I'm here to answer whatever you want to know what's going on. Okay, moving forward though, let's take a look and keep going. So I need you guys to remember, when it comes to this new moon in Aries, not only is, like I said, it's about brand new beginnings, but we also need to keep in mind that since this new moon is here, 6 months from now, it is going to become a full moon in Aries. So we are being given a 6-month kind of time frame of a seed to plant. What can we work on within ourselves? What can we develop? What can we reinvent and embody more inner empowerment in, and own more unapologetically? This is what this new moon in Aries is all about. And that is something that we are being asked to kind of culminate within ourselves over the next 6 months. So then once October 2025 comes around, full moon in Aries is there, you're going to ask yourself, what did I get to do for myself? And that full moon, baby, is going to be all about celebrating that for yourself. Okay, so let us start looking a little bit more deeply into these major astrological planets and what's going on here. So the first thing I wanted to share is new moon is conjunct the Mercury that is currently and still retrograde. So if you guys did not know this, Mercury was in Pisces retrograde, and Mercury is now in Aries retrograde. It is still moving backwards, baby. And when it is conjunct this new moon, what this means is, okay, you guys might be feeling like you're gonna want to be more, you're going to feel like more like an urge to speak your truth and defend yourself, defend your beliefs, defend your choices, defend whatever the heck you want. Like something in you might you might be more easily triggered, or more like, if you're passionate about something, because remember, Aries is ruling the planet of Mars, and it's about aggression, it's about power, it's about passion, and it's about like what kind of lights you up, what lights your fire within you, ignites the flame. And with that, we might all be a little bit more of a fireball when it comes to how we speak for a little bit. But since Mercury is retrograde still, and it is going to be retrograde until April 7th, keep that in mind. Same with Venus. Venus will be retrograde until April 12th. What this means is that you might feel an urge to do those things, speak your truth or defend yourself. But you got to pause, because we got to remember, Mercury is not direct yet. So if you get those moments where you feel like exploding or snapping, or just like something just kind of snaps in you and it like flips a switch and you're accidentally like overreacting or saying things, or it's not maybe even overreacting, it's just that you're so passionate about something you might be talking about with somebody, just know Mercury is still retrograde, okay? And that is asking all of us to pause, to kind of assess the situation before we react. We need to respond, not react. And the only way we can actually respond rather than react, because those are two very different ways of dealing with things. You need to take a deep breath, take a mental step back, and ask yourself, is what I'm about to say, what is the purpose of what I'm about to say? What is the purpose of what I'm about to share? Why am I sharing this? Does it matter, or am I just saying it because I'm mad? And what am I going to gain out of this is basically what you need to ask yourself. If there's nothing to gain, if it's only going to make things worse, if it's going to spread like wildfire the situation and make it blown out of proportion, chances are Mercury in Aries is kind of messing with your head. And it's retrograde, you should probably take a step back, because what you're about to say might get completely misunderstood, because everyone's feeling that way right now. And we need to kind of let clarity rise before charging ahead with things. So What does that mean, right? Because a lot of people, when we think about new moons, we think about planting seeds and setting new goals, starting something new. Because there's still so much retrograde energy in the air right now, we need to keep in mind that perhaps this exact new moon in Aries isn't about starting something brand new, but instead, because of the retrograde energy kind of in the mix here, we're actually being asked to go back inside of our hearts, our soul space, and say, what are the things that we kind of doubted about ourselves, or the things that we love doing that we never wanted to admit to ourselves that we love doing? What are the things that we're passionate about? What are the things that give us those little inner firework feelings? Why did we drop it in the first place? Maybe there was a thing, a goal, a passion, or something you were trying to do that maybe you let go of, you gave up on a while ago, or whatever it might be. This new moon in Aries is asking us to ask ourselves, what traits, what qualities inside of our own character did we lack that maybe was the thing that was keeping us from getting those things? Or whether it was love, whether it was money, whether it was a better promotion, whether it was a friend group, whatever it was, it could be absolutely anything, guys. You're just being asked to reflect on that right now. Think about it, write it down. Really, honestly, journaling with this retrograde and new moon Aries energy, like journaling is the best thing you can do. And I'm not saying journal with like a prompt of any kind, literally just like asking yourself anything and see what wants to come out, because like I said, there's still a lot of other astrological things I wanted to share. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, this is the one that I need everyone to pay attention to, because this one's really important. This one's pretty intense. I actually literally, I think 40 minutes before starting this, I just got anxiety hit out of nowhere, and I was like doubting everything about my life. I'm like, what the hell is going on? That's what this transit I'm about to share, or this aspect that I'm about to share is doing, okay? So if anyone knows what I'm talking about, if you've been feeling that, if you just randomly started getting anxiety hits out of nowhere recently, let me know in the chat, because I can relate to you so heavy right now. The new moon is being squared Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius right now. Aquarius is a sign that is fixed. It's a little rigid, but it likes to see beyond the present. It likes to kind of go into the future. And that's why it's also a very wise sign in the healed state, right? But then there's also the wounded version of Aquarius, and they are rigid with control. They have a thing with control, and it's very important to them. They overthink heavily because of it. So this new moon square Pluto, because the new moon is about setting bold intentions, starting things new with it in this fiery energy of the bold, childlike energy of Aries. It's creating a lot of deep internal pressure within all of us right now to transform and do something, a shedding of the skin. And so there might feel like you might be going through some issues with power dynamics, identity shifts, letting go of outdated versions of yourself, and things of that nature. Things where you might actually feel like some sort of energy of like shadow work gets activated within you, and maybe your subconscious fears might just start coming out of nowhere. I need you guys to understand, if anyone is dealing with that, like feeling like maybe your fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, like some fears, just those things that, your deep hidden things, the things that make you insecure, the things that if someone pokes at or says something or looks at you the wrong way about, like you're gonna collapse, like those things. If you feel like those things are coming up within you, I need you to understand that there is a reason for that. And it is because of this effect with the new moon square Pluto. Pluto is asking us all to look at those wounds. Pluto is asking all of us to look at these old identities, the things that we used to identify with us, and acknowledge that they aren't serving us anymore, that they don't belong within us anymore, that there's no reason for them to stay with us anymore. And there is a really big pressure to evolve right now. So basically, it's like we all have an opportunity for rebirth right now, but it's only if you're really, truly willing to burn that old version of you now. And I need you guys to also understand, though, it's kind of like the Tower card in Tarot. The Tower card moment is going to happen, okay? I'm just letting you guys know. Not to mention with the North Node, the axis it's on Pisces, guys. We're all going through a huge de-shedding process of illusion. And I think in a way, as a collective, it's kind of helping us emotionally mature a lot, okay? So whether you want to look at those wounds or not, you will have no choice but to face them eventually. I don't want to scare you guys. I'm just saying, like, this is that type of intense placement. Pluto is out of nowhere type of chaotic energy, okay? And it's powerful, intense energy. Very, very, very intense energy. So this de-shedding is going to be there whether we want it to or not. If we're willing to surrender to the process and look at those wounds, be honest with ourselves and say, okay, yes, I know that I am addicted to X, Y, and Z. It could be addicted to your phone, addicted to work, addicted to being perfect, addicted to the idea of not being good enough. There's so many different things that all of us as human, it's in our human nature to have something to struggle with. And it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just because I feel like our brains all are so, they always desire something to kind of work with. You know what I mean? We always need to be working on something. So even if we have a normal, mundane life, a daily, typical life, you might still be dealing with some sort of issue because of how our brains are wired. And we are being asked to look at that. And yes, you're going to feel resistance to starting over because of the fear of failure maybe coming up, maybe the fear of rejection, the fear of being seen. But this is why this new moon being square Pluto is beautiful for this new moon initiation period. You guys have a total of 6 months moving forward to work on something within yourself, to help you come out and be that phoenix that rises from the ashes. You know, the phoenix crashed, it comes out 10,000 times stronger. Like I said, the phoenix wasn't in the ashes to begin. It had to get there somehow. So we always, all of us, we all have fell down at one point in our life. But whether we choose to get back up again, it's on us. You know, no one else can force us out of the mud. We have to be willing to pick ourselves out of it. And so we got to remember that moving forward. We need to show up for ourselves right now and take accountability. And that's the beauty with this. So yes, I did tell you guys Saturn is entered Pisces today. I need to remind you guys, this is about anchoring your vision into reality. So whatever you have, a dream, a goal, a project, maybe you've been working on, anything that might have been ongoing in your life too, it doesn't need to be a brand new thing like I said. This is where you can dream big, but you got to build your goal step by step. And it's a real aspect with Saturn entering Pisces now for the next, I think, 3 to 4 years, where we're committing to some real inner growth right now as a collective. And that's the exciting part, because I love seeing the collective level up, and I hope you guys can agree with me on that. So that is really exciting. And yes, I'm just trying to make sure there's anything else here, because there's a couple more. Yes, that was the thing I almost forgot to share. So the final thing when it comes to what is going on in the sky is Neptune also is going to be entering Aries tomorrow on March 30th. This transit is going to bring the Neptune's like dreamlike Piscean qualities with the energy of that assertive Aries. And it's going to be encouraging us to pursue our ideals with passion and creativity. So if you are an entrepreneur at heart, if you are someone who is starting a new side hobby, a side gig, whatever it could be, this is a great placement, a good thing to be happening in the sky right now for you to set that intention and plant that seed for yourself. We're all also being called to confront illusions right now and embrace compassion and establish structures that support our dreams and ideas, our visions, whatever it might be. That dream life you want for yourself, it's 100% possible, guys. It is. You just gotta go get it, and you gotta figure out how, right? We gotta use our little noggins right now, and Mercury, Venus retrograde right now that's happening, perfect time to do that. Start thinking. This is a time of refinement, refining the things that are already there, and you guys can do it. Because as humans, we are all meant to evolve. At the end of the day, we are all meant to evolve. So if we were to hold ourselves back, it's literally self-sabotage onto us. Nothing else is holding you back except yourself. You know, humans have been in even worse SHIT-er situations in the past, in history, in life. And look where we are today as a human civilization. With that now, when it comes to some journaling prompts, I did look into some journaling prompts and I got some really, really beautiful journaling prompts that I think everyone would love to do or reflect on their own. You guys can write this down in your own journal, or if you want, actually, I might end up sharing those in the chat. The journaling prompts after, if you guys are too lazy to write it down or something, you want to like copy it and paste it in your notes, I'm going to write it down in the chat too, so you guys have access for it that way as well. So some prompts, because like I said, with this new moon being squared Pluto, there's some shadow work energy in the air. I think the best prompts for you guys to be asking yourself is, where am I afraid of my own power? Okay. What part of my identity is outdated, but I'm still clinging to it? What am I afraid to begin because it means I have to leave the past version of me behind? Let that sit there, because that can sting. What area in your life do you struggle with imposter syndrome? I know we all have something. Imposter syndrome can screw with us very heavily. And I deal with imposter syndrome all the time with what I do with my work. You know, I feel like the best people in the world, they have imposter syndrome because they ask themselves, am I really capable? Because they care so much. And that's how you know that you're a good person. And so this is where we gotta shed that, because how can we actually step into the role of where our heart wants us to be if we hold on to these narratives that are holding us back from being it? You know what I mean? This is where we got to ask ourselves that. So don't rush this process. Pluto wants depth because, like I said, it's an intense placement, intense planet. So we got to sit with what arises before we act on it, which is why I said try to make it a slow process of planting seeds moving forward. Don't make this like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to start today. You know what I mean? Plan on it. If it's something that's important to you, this isn't meant to be rushed, okay? Aries, like I said, it's a childlike energy. It's a very impulsive and it can be a little reckless when it's not aware of what it's doing. So we do not want to be that way when it comes to our dreams. You know what I mean? Don't overhype it. You got to be realistic. Remember, Saturn just entered Pisces. Now's the time to be realistic, or Saturn's going to make you get realistic eventually. And you're not going to want to deal with it if it's something that you didn't plan for. So just be warned. All right, so I do have 4 more journaling prompts before we get into the collective aspect of this circle, which is going to be looking at some tarot. And I actually got, oh my God, I'm so excited to do this for you guys. But okay, so the last 4 journaling prompts, because I'm getting ahead of myself and I'm getting overhyped, is what am I ready to begin again with boldness, not apology? What part of me have I been hiding that's ready to lead? Where have I been waiting for permission to act? And what would change if I gave that permission to myself? And the last one, that is my literal absolute favorite journaling prompt ever, and I did all these, by the way, before I made this, I'm doing this live, is what fear is ready to become fuel? What fear of yours right now, what fear is in you that is ready to become the very thing that drives you towards making your dreams a reality? What is that for you? And how can you turn it into fuel? I made a wisdom nugget on this a while ago about how anger is like all of our most biggest superpower we all possess. And there's a lot of people, like I bet all of you guys know somebody who have some sort of anger issues, or we say they have anger issues. In reality, I believe that people with anger issues are people that are very sad. But because people that say they have anger issues, what do you think that means? They call themselves people who have anger issues because they have a lot of power, a lot of untapped power and potential and energy, fire, flame, fierceness, boldness, intensity within them. And the only reason why it's anger is because they don't know how to harness it and use it in the right way. But when you think about anger, anger is the very same thing that created rebellions and revolutions to create change in this world, to make this world a better place. to protest and all that stuff, fighting for what's better, for equality. All that stuff was built on anger. And anger was put in the right things to help those things have a positive outcome over time. So the thing about anger is we need to learn how to tame it. And if you can turn your fear into something that turns into the very thing that drives you forward in life, if you can make your fear something that can work for you and not against you to help you move forward, that is your good. Oh my God, I don't know what just happened to my throat. That was weird. But let me continue. That is going to be your biggest superpower possible to help you get there. And so that's the thing we got to think about moving forward. We got to ask ourselves how. What fear is ready to become fuel? So I want you guys to really think about that. And if you feel comfortable sharing it in the chat, let me know, okay? Because I'm here and I'm still, I finally learned how to freaking figure it out, and now I can see what everyone's messaging, okay? So moving forward though, let us start this beautiful portion, which is looking into the Tarot Oracle Collective reading, because I'm so excited, and I actually pre-shuffled the Oracle cards for the final messages to finish up the circle at the very end. So we have a message from some guardian angels here. We have my Sacred Creator card and some medicine cards for you as well. I'm going to be reading from the booklet here and the booklet here as well to finish up the reading at the end. So, but when it comes to tarot, because I felt like this was such a special moon, okay? It's the astrological new year, for goodness sake. We're going to be using my gold tarot cards. Tell me these are not bougie and like you can't stop looking at them, because for me, I love anything that's shiny. I think it's an ADHD thing. I'm like, oh my God, look at that. You know what I mean? So it's just fun to look at, and that's really why I got it. But let's do this. So for the first question, if you guys are journaling or writing it down, when you guys take notes on these, the first card that's going to come out, we're going to be looking at what part of our identity is asking to be reclaimed. So what part of our identity, or you could say my identity, is asking to be reclaimed, okay? That is the first question we are going to be looking at. Okay. Did anyone see that? I'm going to start again because I didn't even have time to ask a question. All right. So what part of our identity is asking to be reclaimed as this collective? Whoever's watching this, if you are watching this right now, let us see. What part of our identity is asking to be reclaimed? What part of our identity is asking to be reclaimed? Beautiful. Guys, you want to know what card? We got the Queen of Cups. This is, oh my gosh, I love this. I love this for us, guys. I love this. Okay, let's do one card at a time. We are being asked to go inside ourselves and sit with ourselves and find the peace within our inner chaos. I will explain. I know I can sound really metaphorical. Bear with me. So we're being asked right now to find ways to settle the chaos. And how to do that, you got to ask yourself, what do I enjoy for my self-care? What are the things that make me feel very safe? How can you create an inner safe space inside of you? And I bet that there's so many people, there really is in reality, there's so many people that struggle to find or create that inner safety inside of themselves. And with the Queen of Cups coming out, it's like the only way that we can figure that out is if we forgive ourselves for things that maybe we're ashamed of doing. The things that, like, we all have a trait in our personality that we're not proud of. We all have something that maybe we've done that maybe we look back on. You know, that's a reason why guilt is like one of the worst feelings to actually experience, because guilt, for me at least, from my own personal life experience, guilt is like, it can take shape of many, many, many things. And it's kind of like a shapeshifter. It's an icky experiencing feeling. And you might not even realize that guilt is the thing that rules over your life when it comes to people pleasing, when it comes to being the perfectionist, when it comes to feeling like you're never good enough and you feel guilty, you feel like you're always failing at things, or you feel like you're never being the person that everyone else needs you to be. That's guilt, guys. Guilt does all those things. It can make you go insane. And it can make you live a life that was never yours to live. It was everyone else's life to live. And so we got to remember, what part of my identity is asking to be reclaimed? We got to ask ourselves, what is the thing that is messing with our heads enough to make us think that this is the way? Because we need to be honest with ourselves. The Queen of Cups is about someone who's intuitive, emotionally connected, emotionally aligned, and knows how to listen to their heart and listen to their soul. But the only way to go there is to get to the center. And to get to the center of our inner world is hard. It's a quest in itself because there's so much chaos and noise that kind of surrounds it. And that's where shadow work is important here, because we need to be willing to move through the gunk. We need to be willing to move through the darkness to find the light at the end. You know, we got to keep going through the tunnel to see the light at the end. You know what I mean? So we need to be willing to go through those emotions. And I think that right now we're being asked to do that as a collective, to be willing to heal emotionally and be willing to mature our emotions and not let any recklessness kind of steer us away from the path that we've been in the process of trying to carve for ourselves for the better. So let's continue and see the other cards that want to come out for us. So for the second card, we're going to be looking into to see what fear or pattern needs to burn away. Okay? So what fear or pattern needs to burn away? So whoever is watching this, as a collective, I want us to all find this out together with this new moon in Aries. What fear or pattern needs to burn away? Let's take a look at that together. What fear or pattern needs to burn away? What fear, okay, or pattern? Okay, I like this. We got Temperance, baby. Perfect. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. All right. There might be some things that we have a lot of trouble allowing to come into full fruition. We got to remember, when it comes to the process of manifesting, right, or the law of attraction, or whatever other freaking law there is in the universe, the things that we all do, that every spiritual person on the internet is like, oh my God, this is how you do it. When it comes to those things, how do we expect those things to come into fruition if we don't have enough patience for them to do their thing? You know what I mean? We need to be willing to also work with those things, because most of the time when we are trying to manifest something, we can't fully manifest it. Like, for anyone listening, if you have ever tried manifesting something and you're like, why isn't this working? The reason why it's not working is because you haven't met it halfway. You are waiting for it to just come to you 100%, but you need to meet it halfway. With Temperance coming up here for what fear or pattern needs to burn away, we need to be willing to meet things more halfway. We're being asked to start taking initiative for our goals. We're being asked to start taking initiative to meet things halfway more often, because when you have faith in something and you know like something's meant for you, this and that, you also need to show to the thing that at which you have faith with or towards. Even if it's towards yourself, you have faith in yourself, you need to show it. Okay, prove it to me. Prove to me that you are ready for this. Prove to me that you are capable of handling everything that comes moving forward with the thing that you are asking for. Because we can ask for $10,000, right? But at the end of the day, those $10,000 can be with you, whether you want, like, if it's there with you or not, but problems are still going to come your way. But are you able to have $10,000 when problems come at you? Are you going to spend those $10,000 recklessly and irresponsibly? Because I don't think whatever you believe in is going to give you those $10,000 if it doesn't think you're capable of handling it responsibly for the right reasons, for the reasons that are actually meant to help you grow and evolve as a human in this lifetime. So we need to be more honest with ourselves, and that involves healing, that involves being patient, because we can't just rip those inner truths out of us quickly, and that's what Temperance is all about, okay? So keep that in mind. For the third card, we are going to be checking out and see, where is my true will guiding me now? So where is our true inner will guiding us all? Okay, let us take a look. And I'm very curious, because this is such a beautiful reading, how it's unraveling so far. It feels like there's a lot of emotional healing, really, that's coming up, that we're all being asked to embody. So Where is my true will guiding me now? So where is our true will as a collective for whoever is watching this, guiding them now? Let us take a look. We got 3 cards that popped out, but I'm going to go with it. Okay. We got all 4 of the cards. It was 4 cards, my bad. We got 4 cards that came out, but they are all major arcana cards, which is pretty crazy. We have the Chariot, the Star, the Hierophant, and the Hanged Man. Let me take a look at these and see what it wants me to share. Where is my true will guiding me now? Really, guys, I kid you not, the thing that just has been continuously showing up is we're being called to just go, take charge, and start. You need to have faith and hope and belief in yourself enough to know that this is going to work out with you regardless, but you need to just start taking action for it. It can't just live in your head rent free forever, or else nothing is going to actually come out of what you're thinking about. And so that's something that's really important we're being asked to do together as a collective. And be willing to reassess it. So we're being asked as well to reflect on, like, if you had a game plan on a certain way of how you were trying to get to your desired destination in life, but that game plan, that current game plan hasn't been taking you or giving you the right results you've been wanting, this is a time where you're being asked to kind of pause and reflect on that and say, how can I refine my game plan to make it get me there the right way and faster and in a way that's more efficient and aligned with the time frame at which I want to get there at. It's like we're all really just being given an opportunity to align with that even better. Okay, so for the very last card and the last question for the tarot here today as the group, we're going to be taking a look and see, how can I support myself emotionally as I begin again? So let us see. How can I support myself emotionally as I begin again? How can I support myself emotionally as I begin again? Oh, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse and the 2 of Swords. Okay. The truth of the matter here is we're being asked to release any extra weight we've been carrying over our shoulders and responsibilities, obligations, anything that we put onto ourselves that we know didn't have anything to do with our dreams, didn't have anything to do with our hopes and the things that we actually want in life. Anything that maybe we took on as like a responsibility that was someone else's to start, we're being asked to release that. And we're also being asked to trust more. If you don't know what's in front of you, if you don't know what's in store in your future moving forward, it doesn't mean that like it's not gonna happen, okay? A lot of the time our brain is always going to try to think it knows everything, when in reality it's just because we have areas in our brain that is very advanced in thinking. It has advanced thinking skills, advanced reasoning skills. So we're going to try to always paint pictures in our head on what might happen moving forward, when most of the time those pictures are being painted with anxiety and fear. Because at the end of the day, at the very center of your brain, you got the amygdala, and the amygdala is ruled by fear. So we need to remember, most of the time your brain isn't the one calling the shots, and it thinks it is, because it's thinking about your survival and it's thinking about keeping you in your comfort zone. What we are being all called to do to support ourselves emotionally as we begin again in this world is to start embracing the unknown. And I know that sounds like some BS thing that I'm about to say with you, because I feel like everyone always talks about that, but how the hell are we all going to be willing to become the best versions of ourselves if we don't even know how to embrace something as little as the unknown? Because at the end of the day, how are we having a true human experience if there is no unknown? It just can't happen. What's the point of having a life? What's the point of living if you already know it's around the corner 24/7? All right, guys. So I feel like with this new moon in Aries, there's been a lot of like strong, just no BS, like cut through the BS type of stuff. So I find that really funny and cool. But let us now take a look to finish up this portion of the circle before we close it up all together. and see what truth is being planted now that we are meant to embody over the next 6 months, okay, right? Because the new moon in Aries starts here. That means in October 2025, full moon in Aries is going to be coming up. So the cards I've already pre-shuffled for us is, oh my God, the Star. So from my guardian angel cards, it says Star. I hope that's not in reverse. Let me know in the chat if it is. So it says, believe in yourself. You are a wonder of creation. Wash away all fear and discover you are a shining star. Allow all around you to just be. Let go of trying to control life, for the light of your soul will guide you always towards love. Remember, stars are born through explosions of love. Love illuminates all things. Never forget you are truly a shining star. Yes, I told you we just got to keep moving forward. We don't need to doubt right now. And that's exactly what Pluto is going to start revealing to us. It's going to start revealing to us the inner fears, those inner demons that are trying to control our every move in the background. But we need to be the ones willing to stop it in its tracks and say, hey, I'm not letting you win today. And we got to be willing to show up and do that battle within ourselves every single day moving forward. We can't just throw in the towel on the days that we're too tired to show up for ourselves, because our inner world is asking us to keep growing. All right. For the last two cards we have here, beautiful souls, is the Lizard Medicine for the medicine card. I'm going to be reading out of the booklet for this. And I believe the number 36. So you add 6 and 3 together, that equals 9. This is about self-growth, individualization. It's about your independence and working on your inner world and knowledge, gaining more knowledge and learning. But obviously I'm going to be reading through the booklet because I do not know what lizard medicine is. So I'm going to be checking that out in the booklet here at the end, but also the very last card, so I can just flip it over. Over is Prosperity's sisters are happiness and joy. So we have Prosperity's sisters are happiness and joy. All right, so let us read out of the booklet to find out what lizard medicine means for us all for the next 6 months. So we're being asked to embody lizard medicine. So let us take a look at that together. So let us see. It is number 36, right? So it says, okay. Lizard, will you dream with me? Travel across the stars. Beyond the place of time and space, there live visions from afar. Lizard medicine is the shadow side of reality where your dreams are reviewed before you decide, oh my God! Everything I just talked about is exactly what this card is about, guys. That is trippy. That trips me out. Lizard medicine is the shadow side of reality where your dreams are reviewed before you decide to manifest them physically. Lizard could have created getting eaten by snake if he had so desired. Lizard is the medicine of dreamers. Whether dreamers smoke you or dream you, dreamers can always help you see the shadow. This shadow can be your fears, your hopes, or the very thing you are resisting, but it is always following you around like an obedient dog. If Lizard dreamed a space in your cards today, it may be time to look and see what is following along behind you. Is it your fears, your future trying to catch up to you? Or is it the part of you that wants to ignore your weaknesses and humanness? Lizard may be telling you to pay attention to your dreams and their symbols. Make a dream log and record all that you remember. Be sure to pay attention to each individual symbol or reoccurring pattern you start seeing moving forward in your life. If you do not remember your dreams, you could try setting a music alarm for 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., or you could try drinking a lot of water before bedtime and allow your bladder to wake you up. Whoa. Dreams are very important. Pay attention to them. Okay, out of this, what I gained is that lizard medicine is the shadow side of reality where your dreams are reviewed before you decide to manifest them physically. I literally just told you this freaking new moon in Aries is all about this exact thing that's being said right now. Tell me that's not crazy, guys. Okay. Right now, we're all doing some shadow work as a collective. Whether you want to face it or not is on you. But I'm 100% doing it, and I'm letting my anxieties eat at me today, and I'm going to embrace them, and I'm going to work through them, and I'm going to trust them because I know that they're there to shed. Every time anxiety comes up, we have another opportunity to say, am I going to let this eat at me? Am I going to let this swallow me whole? Or am I going to breathe through it and say, I know God or source or spirit or light or whatever the heck you believe in has got you, and it's holding your hand at this very moment? Or are you going to let it pull you back and you're going to get stuck in that veil of illusion and self-doubt and all this stuff? Because that's the only thing that's holding you back this day and moving forward. Only you can let it go. All right. That was beautiful. That was crazy. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. That's like a huge confirmation. If you have been doubting anything, if any anxiety has been coming up within you, any second guessing and things like that, remember, it's just Pluto messing with your mind right now, okay? But you need to remind yourself, look, I know you're there. I know the fears are there, but are they really real? Or is it just my trauma? Is it just repressed memories? Is it just repressed experiences and things that have been messing with me since they've happened, but aren't happening anymore? And can I rewrite my story right now? Aries is like, yes, you effing can. Aries in this new moon is saying, rewrite your story now because you've always been able to. This is just a little bit of a reminder for you to do that. Become the phoenix that rises from the ashes, guys. I'm telling you, the phoenix fell before it got into the ashes. It didn't start there. We all fall. It's a matter of whether or not we're willing to pick ourselves up after the fall. But everyone can reach out and try to help you get up. But are you going to take their hand? Do you get what I'm saying? Are you going to freaking take the hand? All right. Sorry, I get intense because I was in preach mode. Okay. Last card, oh my God, guys, I shuffled these before, so I could do this live stream a little bit more quickly and more smoothly for you guys. I just looked at both of the numbers on these cards. Dude, these are two completely different decks. 36 and 36. We got 36 twice. Guys, that's the number 9. 9, I'm going to literally look it up live. Let's check it out. What is 9 numerology speaking? Because I know what the number 9 is, but let us see together. The number 99 is a powerful symbol of change, personal development, and a deep connection with the universe, often appearing during transformative periods, urging you to embrace change and believe in your path. Guys, I literally am losing my mind right now. The things I do this work for a living. I'm a facilitator for deep healing, but every time when cards do this to me, my brain just always implodes. I just get so freaking amazed on what's going on. And I'm like, what is this? Wow. So yeah, repetition of 9, it intensifies its meaning, signifying a heightened I'm getting so excited, I'm messing up my words. Signifying a heightened connection to the universe and the souls within it. The number 9 in numerology is associated with endings and new beginnings, and the repetition of 9 emphasizes this transformative energy. It's seen as a message from the universe and your angels, urging you to embrace change, believe in your path, and show love and kindness to others. It's also associated with wisdom, intelligence, and leadership, suggesting that it's time to use your abilities and talents. That was also what the cards were saying. Guys, I kid you not, we're all being called to start and rewrite our story. Rewrite it, pick up the pen and keep writing. Scribble out where you think your fate is taking you, okay? The future, people who say they can read the future, it's only telling you the current energy of where you're at right now. You can change that frequency whenever you want. If someone says that you're doomed, it's only if you stay on the path you're currently on. You get to say, I don't want to be doomed and I want to go somewhere else. But it's only if you do it. This is where you can, okay? Let me just go back to the stream here. Hi, Brandy. What's your sign? Let me know what your sign is, or if you know anything what your rising sign might be, and I can try to do some magic really quick on the spot and tell you how this new moon might be affecting you right now. Let me know. You can take your time too, because I'm getting set up over here as well. But if you can let me know a little bit quickly, that would also be great, because I was actually about to do the closing ceremony. So if you can let me know, that would be great. But take your time. All right. Oh yes, actually, I almost forgot to do this because I was so amazed by these repeating numbers. So let's see the last little area here that I wanted to read to you guys for the energies we all received. So if anyone that's watching this is all for what you need to hear for the next 6 months moving forward. All right. Essential meanings for prosperity. So this is for this card. Finding joy in community, taking time to smell the flowers, the little things. Okay. Sisters, brothers, siblinghood. Are you tapping into it? Have you found your place in a supportive community of like-minded explorers? Are you having face-to-face interactions with souls that make you a better person and with people who help you share your gifts? Find a community of cheerleaders who will help lift you up and launch you out. Right now, doubling up on your exposure to other people's positivity online will quintuple your results. You may be underestimating the power of connection on the journey. Do it for the friendship. Do it for the experimentation. Take logic out of the equation and do it for the sheer joy of just being with high vibrational people. Go deeper with others, risk cracking wide open and allowing some of your hidden brilliance to escape into the room. Are you running after an abundance of wealth and financial success without paying as much attention to the other sisters? How can you let go of any success shaming you're feeling? How can you remember that it's totally okay to be exactly where you are? That is so important. That is so important. I am going to read that. I will read that after I finish my thought, Brandy. We all need to remember, like, wherever the end goal, whatever we're going in life, it's always so hard to enjoy the process, right? It's always so hard to take a step back and snap ourselves out of the rat race we put ourselves in life and be like, whoa, this is actually really beautiful. There's so much things that I'm taking for granted right now in my immediate reality because I'm always constantly thinking about the things I don't have. But what about the things I already do? What about the things that I take for granted? Like how I have a floor under my butt. I didn't know how to sound cute saying that, sorry. How I have a floor beneath me. Yeah, that's a better way. I should have said it that way, my bad. How I have a floor beneath me and where I have a roof over my head. Those are things that we take for granted. You know, the fact that we can go to the grocery store where other people are doing jobs that we don't enjoy, right? But they're doing it for us. Well, they're getting paid, but anyways, they're doing it for us to help us be able to have a meal on our table. That's something we get to be grateful for. You know, how humanity is all coming together to help keep providing and assisting each other. That's another thing to be grateful for. This is so beautiful. I just wanted to share that because that's something that I think really resonated with me. So let me take a look. You're a Taurus sun and Chiron. You also live on your Chiron Gemini stellium 5th placement. Oh my gosh. So you're a Gemini. You have Gemini in 5 placements. Can you correct me if I misunderstood that? So you have Gemini in 5 placements in your chart? Sorry, I'll try to type fast so it's not grammatically pleasing to the eye. Leo, North Node, Virgo, Moon, Gemini, Venus. Okay. Virgo, Moon, Taurus, Sun. Okay, give me a second. Let me let my brain sit on this for a second. So you're Taurus Sun, Leo North Node, Virgo Moon. Okay, so all your placements have Gemini. And do you know your rising sign? Because the rising sign is the thing that helps me know where the house placements are. If you know what your rising sign is, that would help me the most. But you are a Taurus Sun and a... Sorry guys, I'm still trying to get used to like reading the chat. A Virgo Moon. Oh, you're a Virgo Moon. Okay. So if you know what your rising sign is, that would help. Mercury, Venus, midheaven. Yes. Okay. Oh, your rising sign's a Leo and your north node's in Leo. Okay, thank you for sharing that. That helps a lot. Okay, so your Virgo would be in the second house. Okay, so for you, one way that this new moon in Aries could be helping you is learning how to, well, one, release control. Virgo moons in the second house have a lot to do with, they overthink really hard, but you guys are also extremely, I don't know how to explain it. You guys have like this kind of wisdom to you that not a lot of people get to, oh my God, you lied to me, girl. It's okay. Regardless though, this is going to still resonate, and my rising sign's a Virgo. So yes, let's go. We all are just overthinkers up in here, right? I get it. With the Virgo moon, that might feel like you have this, I don't know how to explain it. You're very good at like sense, like you have these spidey senses that you're able to kind of pick up on like things that are going on around you sometimes. But yeah, actually no, that is accurate. And then with your Taurus sun, it might actually make you more, I don't know, do you have like trust issues with people? Like, is it hard for you? Like, you're good at talking to people in, like if you had to be in a setting where you're talking to people that you like don't have a choice, like you got to be there, you're good. Like you'll be able to, I guess, converse with people. But when it comes to letting people get close to you, it might feel like there's always like that protective barrier first before they get to know the real you, and it might actually be pretty hard for you to get a lot of people in your immediate circle. But I feel like because you have a lot of Gemini placements, I would love to see it. I didn't even know you guys couldn't see it from Canada. Hi, I don't know what MTL stands for, if you can tell me. All right. Yes, hi, nice to meet you. And so with this new moon in Aries, you might actually be encouraged, Brandy, to release control of anything that, okay, wherever your heart feels like it gets poked at. If you're in any area of your life, it could be your love life, it could be your career life, it could be about just self-growth in general. You're being encouraged to release control in that area, because it might feel like you're trying to unintentionally over assert like some intellectual control over it. It might not even be like physical control. It's like always want to be like 1,000 steps ahead before something else can happen. Like you're always trying to plan for the worst. And most of the time we need to remember, like, worst case scenarios, those are things that our brain is creating. Most of the time your worst case scenario isn't going to happen. And if it does, well, technically speaking, like, it is good that your rising sign is a Virgo, because you'll be prepared, but you know what I mean. We can only be so perfect. Let me read this. Okay, hold on. This is long. Hold on a second. I actually just went through a dark night of the soul the last 11 months. I'm coming out of it. I ended up with being so gaslit, thinking I was mentally ill, admitting myself. Oh my gosh, girl. To discover I was psychic, and he couldn't figure out how I was knowing all the stuff he was doing, because if I looked deep enough in the 3D, I could find the proof. Ooh, Solace and Sawdust, thank you for sharing that. You want to know what's going on with you? Okay, yes, so Solace and Sawdust, I can share with you how this new moon in Aries is going to be impacting you. Your Scorpio rising, it's like the last of the growth that won't fall off. Okay, Brandy, I need to share this with you, girl, because I want to let you know that you are not alone, okay? Your story and your experience, I need to let you know that what you've been going through, or you just went through it 11 months ago. I have such a personal experience with gaslighting, and I need to let you know that you are not alone, and you're only a victim of your circumstances if you allow it to haunt you. The gift about Virgo moon, or having a Virgo moon, You don't have to read anything. I just got excited. You told me, hey. No, I just love, okay, so I want to make sure that everyone understands this moving forward, is that I'm really trying to prioritize with these circles that I'm going to be doing for every new and full moon moving forward. My new moon in Aries intention is to start showing up more and putting myself out there more, because the whole purpose why I created my YouTube channel is to build a community to help people heal. And so they have a place to come back to heal together. So they have a community where they can share something they just overcame. And so I literally, Brandy, I want to let you know, it means the absolute world to me that you just shared your story about the dark night of the soul, because gaslighting is such a slippery slope. It's very hard to get out of, like when you're in its grasp, it really messes with your head. And it's so beautiful to hear that you were able to go through that. So you are literally a phoenix rising from the ashes. And so again, you need to remember, Brandy, with this new moon in Aries, you can do that again in any other area of your life. You just need to ask yourself, again, if you were not here for it, what fear is ready to become your fuel right now? What fear in you that you feel like has been calling the shots in your life is ready to become the fuel that helps you drive yourself forward? Because that is what this new moon in Aries is going to help you be able to do. And if you do and you weren't here for it, I do highly encourage you to check out the journaling prompts, or I can even put it in the chat area for you. Because I want to help you be able to take advantage of this new moon in Aries energy moving forward. But, so you started a YouTube. How long ago did you start yours? I can subscribe if you want. I'm literally here trying to help everyone grow. You know, at the end of the day, when it comes to this type of stuff, we are all here to help each other. We're all here to help each other grow. Like, how can we call ourselves people who want to help make this world a better place if we aren't willing to show up and help each other do that work at the end of the day? Healed people help heal the world. That's a really big thing, and I stand by it 1,000%. And this is exactly what I'm trying to do on my YouTube channel, so we can help heal this world. We can create a domino effect. Every time we heal, every time we work on ourselves in life, we are showing those other people in our immediate surroundings, in our little social bubble, hey, it's possible. And so you can maybe do it too. We got to be able to mirror that energy and encourage that onto others. And that's why healing, that's the best way to help others. Okay, you have no idea how much this encourages me, because I love that you're sharing me paragraphs here. And this is as not in a mean way. I'm happy because I love talking. I haven't been posting lately because I feel like I was trying to hide my true self and nothing was really hitting where I wanted it. Thank you so freaking very much for your vulnerability, because I'm on cloud 9 now. I'm going upload all the videos that I have waiting to upload. Oh, so you have a bunch of videos and you didn't even upload them? Girl, come on. You can do this. Come on. Make this literally the new moon in Aries. Set it. Do it. Click it and don't look back. Be ready. And it does. I've actually written a book and it's effing insane. I've always loved and journaled since high school. We'll vlog the last 3 years, but journaled since high school. So I have raw accounts. Oh, this is so beautiful. If I will check out your YouTube channel, I would love to. Yes, no, of course. I'm a girl's girl, well, one. And secondly, like I said, the whole purpose of why I started this is to help each other grow. I want to help you. I want to support you in every way that I can. All right. So yes, no, I got you, girl. And you are beautiful. I again just want to say thank you for sharing your story. All right. So, guys, the time has come. All right. If you didn't get a chance to look through everything that we dived into, I highly recommend that you watch, because I did share a lot of things that is happening in the planets, with the planets in the sky right now that I think is very important, like the new moon square Pluto, extremely important to look into. But with that, I want you guys to all, wherever you are, take a moment, breathe, take a nice inhalation through your nose, let the air rise in your chest, HA sound out the mouth, and kind of let your shoulders release. Feel the weight of what's ready to be left behind, and feel the spark of what's ready to rise within you. Let this be a moment of your ignition. You don't need to be fully ready to start. That's what Aries' lesson in life for us all is during the next 6 months. We don't need to be fully ready to start. You just need to be willing. And so I have some affirmations that I will encourage you guys to share, say out loud to yourself, say out loud to yourself. But if you want as well actually to help instill it, you can even put it in the chat. And I want us all to take a moment to really repeat these to ourselves and say it to ourselves in honor and with dignity. I'm going to repeat them 3 times, okay? I am allowed to take up space. I am allowed to take up space. I am allowed to take up space. I release the old version of me gratefully, fully, and boldly. I release the old version of me gratefully, fully, and boldly. I release the old version of me gratefully, fully, and boldly. I begin again, not because I'm broken, but because I'm brave. I begin again, not because I'm broken, but because I'm brave. I begin again, but not because I'm broken, because I am brave. I trust myself to lead. I trust myself to start. I trust myself to lead. I trust myself to start. I trust myself to lead. I trust myself to start. And so it is. And I am so grateful that I got to be in this whole little circle experience. And I feel so blessed that I got to look into this with Brandy. And this new moon in Aries was about claiming ourselves. But the Libra full moon that is coming up April 12th, it's going to ask us how we carry that new self that we just planted a seed in for today into our relationships, connections moving forward. So I do highly recommend that you guys mark your calendar for that, because this story is still unfolding within us all. I highly recommend. All right. And I want to let you know, Brandy, I will continue to look at your chat really quick before I end this circle, because I don't want to leave you hanging. It should take you there. It's nothing fancy. But I'm a photographer by trade, and it was preventing me from releasing anything because I felt like my videography had to be on point until I was like... Oh, you're from Montreal, Solis. That's so cool. Can you speak French? That'd be kind of cool. Oh yeah, girl is capping me out. I'm doing talk to text. LOL. I don't feel the need to keep responding because I'll just keep talking. I'll be your accountability buddy, not bunny, because I have no one in my 3D life that I can talk about. You know, I want to let you know, Brandy, you are always welcome to comment and share, like, whatever you want, like, in the community tab on my channel, and I can talk to you there. Like, you don't need to just wait for these live streams to talk to me. I want to let you know that I'm here for you and we can do this together. Oh, you do speak French. Oh, that's so cool. I always wanted to be able to talk French, but I can't for the life of me. Let me take a look, Solis, for you really quick to let you know what to look into when it comes to this new moon in Aries, because I want to honor that. So you said you're a Scorpio rising. I didn't do math. I'm like that person who needs to write things down. I can't do things in my head. So Scorpio rising, that would mean, give me 1 second. So that would mean that that's in the second house. Your Okay, 3rd house, 4th house, 5th house, 6th house. Okay. So your Gemini is probably in the 7th house. Your Pisces is in the 5th. And Aries is in the 6th. Okay. Now I need to look at that again because I literally lost it. Okay, where to go? Okay, yes. So for this new moon in Aries for you, Solus and Sawdust, sorry, this is about anything that has to do with, it might feel like you've had like this urge to like be of service or help others, or maybe you've had a passion of being like giving back to something, or maybe you've had a tendency with people pleasing, something to do where you like always just want to help and there's like a part of you that you can't help but help. Especially when it comes to the people that you deeply care about. It might not just be with every single person. It might be like with specifically the people in your circle. And you can't help but just get involved somehow, like with anything. This can be about anything. And I want to let you know that this new moon in Aries is asking you, or you might actually feel like you've been noticing it coming up more, where there's like some fears or some shadow work that's trying to get triggered within you. You might feel like you notice like some old personas that, old identities that you used to wear to protect you in the past is trying to come back up. And you need to be willing to stand up right now and say, hey, I already know that you don't serve me anymore. I already know that the version of me that I'm trying to build right now from scratch, she doesn't need that. She doesn't need this anymore. And I release you and I'm grateful for you. There needs to be a de-shedding process with that to fully be able to move forward, because I feel like, I don't know why, okay, I wasn't expecting to get this deep into it, Solus and Stardust, but I just got a weird channel message and I don't know if it's specifically for you or if it is for everyone listening. There might be like a project or something that you wanted to start doing. There might be something that, like, I don't know, like some idea, some goal, some aspiration. I don't know what it is. It's only going to work if you let something go when it has to do with being a people pleaser or helping. Something to do with helping. It could be one person that you're helping. I don't know why I'm hearing it could be like someone close. Sorry, I'm just checking out. Oh, yes, girl. Got a relationship in June. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Please be warned, guys, that I have ADHD, so I'm like over here like trying to be an octopus, like doing everything, and I'm trying so hard to share, but then I forget, I lose my train of thought, especially when they're channeled messages, because I try not to absorb the channel message. I try to like deliver what comes up for you guys. So I really, really hope from the bottom of my heart that channel message was complete and that I didn't cut myself out in the middle of sharing something, okay? But if you guys ever feel called to share anything, just know that my community tab, there's a reason why there's a comment space on those posts. I will respond to you and we can talk, because I want to let you know the whole reason why I made this channel is to help everyone become the most healed versions of themselves. And the only way that can happen is if we're willing to create a circle of community so that we can all facilitate our own space of deep healing on here. The whole purpose of technology is to help us advance as humans, and the only way we can advance as humans within ourselves is to heal. So just know that this space is for you guys to be able to do that. I want you guys to learn how to become your own inner light and help you guys find your own way out of your own darkness. So I just want to let you know that I send you guys so much unconditional love. And I really hope that everything you were able to gain out of this was things that you can walk away from and take things out of. And maybe I was able to give you some more clarity on where you're going to be going moving forward. But I do want to mention, I don't know how this is going to happen when I end this chat or this live. I don't know if it still lets me use the chat. I'm hoping it does. Fingers crossed that it does. Because I was going to type out the journaling prompts that I shared in case you guys are too lazy to look at this entire moon circle, okay? So just in case, so you guys still have it there in the back corner of your pocket. All right, I send you guys so much unconditional love. And hopefully I will see you April 12th for the full moon in Libra, which is going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I believe that's 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yes, of course, Solus and Stardust. And with that, have a beautiful Saturday. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend, girls, okay? It was nice talking.